This Airsoft GI TV episode is brought to you in part by G&G Armament. Welcome back to Airsoft GI TV. My name's Tim. In front of me is a plethora of internal upgrade parts. A little while ago I made a video on the parts you're going to need to build a high velocity gun. This is the other end of the spectrum. These are the parts you're going to need for a high speed gun. Now before I get you started, I need to tell you that our techs, our staff, will fight you tooth and nail before we give in to build you a high-speed gun. It is not reliable, okay? And that's the reason why we don't do it. We build guns to be reliable. A high-speed setup is not reliable. But if you really want a high-speed gun, we will build it for you. But of course, they're not going to guarantee their work. They won't guarantee how long it will last. They'll build it as best they can, but even the best shimmed, best built gun with all the best parts in it running at very high speed is going to break inevitably, and more likely sooner rather than later. The first thing that you're really going to need for high speed is this. This is an M100 spring, okay? Outside the realm of custom-made parts, you cannot have a high speed and have a high velocity gun at the same time. M100 spring will shoot you around 300 FPS no matter what gun it's installed in. That's where you should be for a high-speed setup. Also, you will need a lightweight and very strong piston. The Supercore piston fits that build very easily. Change out any bearings, 2 solid metal bushings to reduce the risk of failure. Ball bearing spring guide that's metal, and an aluminum piston head, preferably a ported one, so that you get a good air seal. Now, here are the 2 most important parts, and these are kind of interchangeable. What I have here is a Systema turbo motor and standard ratio gears. You want a very strong gear set, which is why I have Prometheus. And this motor is where your high speed is going to come in. It's a very high speed motor from Systema. There's also another way to build a high speed gun. You can have a standard motor and high speed gears. They're going to yield relatively the same BBs per second. Now, with all of these things installed and shimmed properly on a 9.6 volt battery, you ought to be able to get mid to high 20 BB per second. Okay, this is not recommended for use with a lithium polymer battery. Okay, standard motor, standard ratio gears on a light poly will already yield high FPS. You're throwing high speed components in there, again with a high speed battery, is a little bit overkill, and that is definitely going to shred your gearbox up. Okay, so now that you know what you need, I'm going to head over to the chrono station. I have a P90 that's built. We will show you the capability of our technical skills. Okay, here we are at the chrono station, even though we don't have a chrono here. This is the Airsoft GI high-speed P90. This has been built and rebuilt multiple times since I've been working here. This thing has stripped pistons in less than 10 to 15 rounds. Okay, this thing fires ridiculously fast. I'm probably going to break the piston right now. I'm just telling you, that's how unreliable high-speed setups are. I have an 11-1 LiPo in here. This gun does have a lot of the parts that I just showed you inside of the gearbox, and I'm kind of curious to see how fast it shoots. I haven't seen this thing in action in a long time because it's been out of action for a long time. It's pretty fast. I've actually used this gun a couple years ago at Airsoft Playground. If you were there and you were on the opposite team, you might remember. And I believe I broke it that night. I broke the tappet plate though. I didn't break the piston, which was kind of surprising. Okay, so now you've seen our high-speed P90 in action. You know what parts you need to build your own high-speed gun, but for the love of God, please don't do it. Okay, there are only 2 things for certain if you build a very high-speed gun. Number 1, the gun is most definitely going to break, and number 2, you're going to be wasting a lot of BBs. Okay, this is what you need to do it. Airsoft GI doesn't recommend it, but if you absolutely must, we can build high-speed airsoft guns.